Yeah, Rich Freeman from Kyoto News. Andrew, all test matches are obviously important, but this one has been dubbed the sort of do or die game given the context of the group. Is that how you are approaching this game?
Yeah, it's exciting how wide open the pool is with all the results that have gone the way in the first couple of weeks. Do or die is not really some terminology we've used. We've talked about a performance that we can be proud of coming off an Argentinian game where we felt some aspects of the game were really good, the effort and care in our defence, but execution on the other side of the ball was something we were looking to improve on. So we've talked about those areas this week and how we're going to be proud of a performance we put out against Japan this week.
I think there's a question here on the left, was there? And then to the right. I will come here to the right. Yeah, thank you.
ラグビーライターのヒロシですけども、アンディさん、もしシークレットじゃなければ、我々のオールドフレンドでもあるナイジェルがメンバーから外れている理由を教えてほしいんですけど。
Nigel. Konnichiwa. Yeah, Nigel. Yeah. Nigel's had 2 80-minute performances. We've had another 6-day turnaround, and we've got some wings that are really keen and energised to get a performance out in the field for us. So we've made a number of changes across our 15 and our 23. So we're just looking to make sure we've got the right energy going into this big game against Japan.
あとはお二人の選手ですけども、7月に日本でねゲームもしっかりサモアはやって、日本がどんなチームかっていう感触はしっかりつかめてるとは思うんですけど、プレーしたかしてないかには関わらず、今どんな部分でしっかり日本に勝てるという自信をお持ちですか？
Yeah, I can answer that. Yeah, it was obviously a really proud day for us when we did beat Japan a few months ago. That was the first time in 11 years that we had beaten Japan. So it's a big moment for us. And obviously losing in 11 years against Japan goes to show it's not an easy feat. They're still a very tough team. We're aware of their strengths, of key players, but we're also very confident in our game plan, in our coaches and the players, and we're going to, like Goody said, we want to put out a performance that we're proud of, and obviously winning comes with that. So, yeah, thank you for the question.
We'll come here to the left and then here on the right.
Paul, forwards could be the key of the match versus Japan.
Was it français?
Sorry?
Was it français?
Oui, Midi Olympique.
Okay. Yeah, I think the forwards would definitely be very key. We have a good experienced pack. Would I say that's the key to winning? No, we still have 23 players on the field, and the forwards we just need to be switched on. Making sure we're concentrating at every aspect of the game, whether it's lineouts, scrums around the field, rucks, and so I do trust in our forward pack, but we all have to be switched on and concentrating and fully engaged in what we're doing.
We'll go to the back of the room for the next question. Thank you.
Talofa, huge game you're preparing for, replacing Nigel Wong. What are you bringing into the match against Japan, which is do or die?
I think nothing special. Just gonna turn up and play my game, I think I know as a fast winger, but tomorrow you might see a different it, but there's no pressure on me, and it's not a lot different from Nigel, so I'm just excited to being given this an opportunity, and I'm going to take it with my two hands and give it my all tomorrow.
Another question?
Paul, is it special for you to play the World Cup in France because you play in France for several years?
Yeah, it's very, very special to me. I consider France my home now. I've been here for 8 years, going into 9 seasons, so I've had 2 kids that were born here in France. And so for me, this is home, and I was really excited to be able to welcome, some of the boys who've never been to France in the team, welcome them to the French lifestyle, especially the French food as well. But it is very, very special, and I'm very happy that it's here.
Here and then towards the back.
日本テレビの山本と言います。4年前も戦っているお二人ですけれども、4年前から成長した部分、一番進化した部分、この大会において日本に見せるとしたらどんなところでしょうか。
That was about playing 4 years ago, and what have you improved in terms of playing against Japan?
Well, first of all, it's a completely different squad and coaching group from 4 years ago. Yeah, so obviously we've looked at the historical fixtures between Japan and Samoa and what's going to be really important tomorrow. So, and as you talked about the fixture earlier in the year, we're really aware that that game was altered because of the red card. And that's going to be a big one in the game tomorrow, the discipline from both sides. It's been a big factor in the World Cup games so far. So managing that part of the game and being really disciplined to keep a Japanese team very well coached, especially on the attack side of the ball by Tony Brown. We've got to limit their opportunities inside our half. So we'll be looking to make sure we're really clean with all of our play.
スポーツ報知の和田です。お答えいただける選手で構わないのですが、前日練習のさっきの時に入り口にボールをこう積んでから選手がそこからボールを取って練習を始めると思うんですけど、あれは何か意味があることなんでしょうか。
I need to repeat the question again, please.
今日の練習を始める前にコーチの人たちがボールをピラミッドとか山のように積んでから選手が入ってきて、その山からボールを取って練習を始めていたと思うんですけれど、あれは何か特別な意味があることなんですか？
So you got it?
Yeah, I understand. It doesn't mean anything special at all. It's just I think the equipment manager, he's very good at his job, and he wants to put the balls, like a pyramid. Sometimes they're lined up, but there's nothing special to it, and it's just making sure that the balls are available for the players. So when we go warming up our catch passes, our kicks, and all that. But there's nothing significant. No, it doesn't mean anything.
We have another question at the back, and then here to the front.
Question for Coach. How hard have we been working on our handling areas heading into the game tomorrow? We've seen that in the past couple of games, a lot of mishandling errors and some mistakes from our set pieces. How hard have you worked towards the game against Japan tomorrow?
Yeah, it's just one of those things that we just talked about, not wasting any reps at training, exactly what you've talked about, really focusing on the basics of the game, focusing on the ball, really good passes. So being brilliant at the basics has been a lot of our chat this week. And we want to go out, as I said, and be proud of our performance. And part of being proud of our performance is executing those simple skills really well. So we've tried to keep it positive, turn the language positive, catch everything, finish your pass, do everything brilliantly, and we'll have a good day at the office.
Paul, again, sorry. You were very close to win versus Argentina. What's that miss for you, your team to beat Argentina?
Yeah, I think there was a lot of. I think there's no secret. There were just we weren't able to finish. Certain phases. We were not able to execute certain skills at key moments. We approached the game confidently, thinking we had the team, we have the game plan to beat Argentina, but unfortunately, there were too many mistakes, and that's what ultimately cost us the game. So, like Goody said, this week we've been working really hard on trying to finish, those phases, finish our plays, and hopefully we can bring that tomorrow against Japan, who are a very skillful team. But we've moved on from Argentina, and they're also a very good team. But yeah, we're very focused on Japan tomorrow, and that's what we're aiming for.
We've got time for a couple more questions, if there are any. One at the back, and here at the front.
Question for Ed. I know you're not just playing for yourselves when you play during the Rugby World Cup. What's your message to your family and to the rest of Samoa around the world that will be vying for you tomorrow?
I think it's the same message all the time. I was gonna say in Sāmoa, taira mo kapuainga o talo ia ma le karikongo le mwhaienga mako whaienga luenga. E ula vanga le maua malo le vai aso ake ia e langunga lava lo maua lava le langolango ma le langunga foi kalo a inga e mase ko kungu pele o Samoa. Ai.
Another question here at the front.
すみません、日本語で失礼いたします。日本テレビの古田と申します。明日日本戦迎えるわけですけれども、一人もし警戒選手を挙げるとしたらどの選手になりますでしょうか。
I think as Paulie touched on earlier, we're aware of a number of key players that they have. If you look at the impact a guy like Hamino's had on the games, both sides of the ball, Michael Leach, big players for the spirit of Japan and how they go in games. So we're really aware of not just those two, but players right across the field. They've got really good X factor in their back three, and some power forwards as well that we're going to have to make sure we get up and win collisions against. So to answer your question, no, not this one player. There's a number of players we've done good homework on, and we're across the board we're really aware of their strengths as players and how we can try and limit those impacts they have on the game.
We've got time for one more question if there is one. Yes, please.
Hello, this is Tioshi from the RNS. So last week, I think we've seen a Samoa side that used more ball in hands attacking from off counterattacks. And Japan talked about how they're going to be using more kicks in these games. But would that change the way how Samoa plays? Would you guys be playing more focused on your physicality, or would that change the way how you guys approach this game against Japan?
Physicality is always a big part of our game. It's part of the Samoan DNA, so we're not going to go away from what people expect around our DNA and what we expect around each other, around being physical in a game. So counter-attack, yeah, we've seen across all games there's been a number of kicks in the games, and it's something you've got to be really good at decision making around when to stay in the kick battle or when to hold the ball and put pressure on opposition with our running game. So it's going to be a massive part of the game for both teams tomorrow, and a crucial part is that kick counter battle. So we've got a good plan around it, and now it's just about going and executing that plan.
Sure, there's one more question.
Paul, sorry. Is it the most important game for the qualification?
Yeah, I mean, this game is definitely a very, very important game. So far, we're not thinking about any other game. So yeah, I'd say this is the most important game for this time. We're not focusing on England, not focusing anything past England. So we're very prepared and we're ready for Japan. And this is the one game that we really want to win.
Thank you, everyone. That brings an end to the Samoa Eve of Match briefing. Thank you to Andrew, Ed, and Paul. Good luck for tomorrow. Thanks, everyone.